Hello, I'm Mayor Cheryl Brothers. I'm here today in Cordata Park with our Public Works Director, Hei-Jean Lee, who's joining us today to discuss how our Public Works Department functions with our water. Because we are social distance here and we are out in the fresh air today in a park, I'm going to remove my mask for the rest of this program.
And me too.
And want to thank you for joining me to update our community on our Fountain Valley water, its quality. And before we jump in, you just joined our organization recently, so please tell me a little bit about yourself and your public works.
All right, thank you so much for the opportunity to join you today. It's really my honor to join you and talk about our public works. I joined at a very, very memorable time, about 1 week before the shutdown. So that's my tenure with Fountain Valley. It's a very memorable journey. But maybe a little about me. I am a professional civil engineer by trade, and after my bachelor's and master's degree from University of California at Irvine, I began my career as a consultant engineer. Actually, it's a young civil engineer's dream journey. I was afforded an opportunity to be involved in some really monumental projects in Orange County, the toll roads, their engineering, design, and construction team, as well as California Adventures, Disney, and private developments. And along with all that was an opportunity to design infrastructures that provide quality of life for the communities. And then last 2 decades or so, I've been involved with municipal engineering and operations. So I bring all of those arsenal of knowledge to Fountain Valley, and we have a great team here, and I'm so thankful to be part of it.
That's terrific. So that makes you well versed with everything we do here in Public Works.
Absolutely.
So if people don't know, Public Works actually touches their life every single day.
That's right.
in many ways. We drive on well-maintained roads. Actually, Fountain Valley is very proud of that.
Yes.
Streets and traffic lights are functioning. Your toilet flushes when you need it to.
Yeah.
Streets are not flooded. And the water for your shower, to wash your clothes and drink, is clean and safe on demand. So let's talk about our water. What can you tell us about our water?
We provide water to our residents and businesses that are high quality and reliable. And we pump about 77% of our water from Orange County Water District groundwater basin. And typically about 23% comes from what we call imported sources. And imported sources come from either the Sacramento Delta, Northern California area, or Colorado River. But this year, we've been very fortunate that we are able to pump 100% of our water supply from groundwater sources. And let me explain you why we're doing that. In North Orange County, a lot of the water agencies in that area have been impacted by some contaminants in their drinking water. And they had to literally shut their wells down. So we have all these extra supply of groundwater, and the way our groundwater basin is situated, it kind of, even underground, that water naturally kind of flows to the ocean. And we're kind of near the coastal area. Orange County Water District gave us a special rate to pump so that water doesn't get lost. So we are very, very thankful for that opportunity to collaborate with Orange County Water District and serve that water that could be otherwise would have been lost.
And that's about the least expensive water that we have.
That's right.
Even though there's a lot of equipment that we maintain and process to get the water to our customer, buying imported water, no matter where it comes from, is the most expensive.
That's right.
And for a while, we've been able to avoid that.
So yeah, imported water costs about twice as much as us pumping from the groundwater basin.
Let me talk a little bit about our water rates. Whether whether we're buying imported water or pumping our water, there is some treatment involved that we still have to pay for. And there's what a lot of agencies call a standing charge. It just costs this much to run the department, no matter how much you use. So there is a basis
That's right.
for your water rates, and then your usage is on top of that.
Correct.
So you can only reduce your water bill to a certain level, and then we still need to charge that standing charge just to maintain the system.
That's right.
And that's how it works.
Yes.
So how do we maintain our water quality? How do we regulate that?
Water quality is regulated by Environmental Protection Agency on the federal level, but on the state level, it's regulated by our state Division of Drinking Water. And basically, obviously, the quality drinking water is of the most paramount interest to us. So what we do is we test our water daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, and then we have all these different monitoring schedules, and we perform about 7,500 water quality samples per year. And in addition to that, Orange County Water District on our behalf takes about 3,500 water quality samples per year directly from our wells. And what they're doing is that they're checking for chemicals that are not even regulated, just so that we understand that our water is pure and is of highest quality drinking water. And the one I talked about earlier about North Orange County, water agencies that have been impacted, that chemical is unregulated and we found it. So they could be rest assured that we stand vigilant about water quality.
That's great. That's terrific. Our Public Works Department flushes water out of our pipes. And why do they do that? And what does that mean to our customers?
Okay. When we flush our pipes, we're not wasting water. What we're trying to do is that's one part of the water quality protocol that we also have to maintain in accordance with the Division of Drinking Water's requirements for us to keep our water fresh. So what happens is we pump the water from the ground. Sometimes it comes with a little bit of sediments because it's a natural groundwater aquifer, and so some of the sediments sometimes settle to the bottom of the pipe. And once in a while we have pipes that dead end into a street. Sometimes the water, when people are not using it often enough or in sufficient quantity, water gets stagnant. So we want to make sure we flush out all of those things and provide fresh water in the pipe at all times. So we have a hydrant flushing program. We go from block to block to block to block, and eventually within about a year we flush the whole system and we do it again to make sure water's fresh.
So when you flush the system, that water from the fire hydrants goes into the storm drain, I think. So wouldn't that logically help flush the storm drains too?
Yes, they do. And I'm glad that you mentioned that, because when we flush the hydrant and they do eventually go into storm drain, what Orange County Water District do with that is they capture that and trying to reuse it to replenish the groundwater.
So who manages our water basin that we sit right on top of?
Yeah. That's Orange County Water District. We are actually the host city of their corporate office down here in Ellis. Orange County Water District basically manages all of the groundwater that's vast from North Orange County all the way to coastal area down to the South County. And we have about 19 water agencies that pump from groundwater basin. That includes us. And what they do, again, I think I mentioned that what they do with where I flush the water, they try to repurpose water as much as possible. So they have water coming from Santa Ana River and stormwater capture. And they also capture water behind Prado Dam up in Corona area. And during dry seasons, they would slowly release it so that it has an opportunity to percolate back into the ground. And in addition to that, Orange County Water District has been worldwide recognized for their groundwater replenishment system, and they generate about 100 million gallons per day that has been repurposed from our sanitary sewer water line that has been treated to an ultra purification process that's also drinkable but not yet bottled. So we, the water professionals in Orange County Water District in particular, we're very, very mindful of what can we do to utilize all the resources that are available to us to the best way that we can.
And that water that gets recirculated from the plants here in Fountain Valley gets pumped back upstream to the Anaheim area, where it naturally percolates down through sand and gravel, a lot of layers of ground, which helps to filter things out and purify it. But once it gets to us, it's purified and treated again.
Yes.
So today we're at the Reservoir 2 reservoir and pump station. The project was just completed. It was approximately a little under 2 years to complete the project. And what we did with this is, originally the pump station was constructed in the 1970s, so it was time for an upgrade. And we used to have natural gas engine motors, or engines that drove all of the pump equipment. And we've upgraded those with more efficient electric motors that are run by VFDs that we're able to control the speed up and down on each of the motors to control the gallons per minute that we pump out into the city's water system. So inside the building there are 3 electric motors and pumps that pump the water out of the reservoir, and then there's metering piping that we meter all of the water that goes both into and out of the reservoir so we can look at what our production numbers are. And then there's VFD cabinets to control each of the motors, and a PLC, which is how we electronically communicate remotely with this site, so we can control it back from our headquarters, and we can remotely see the site and operate it and start it and stop it and monitor everything that's going on at it. We had an architect actually design this. He came by and looked at the neighborhood and the surrounding houses and tried to make it blend in as best as possible with the community surrounding it, so that it didn't look like a big commercial building or industrial building surrounded by the residential homes. So to make it blend in, an architect designed it, and what this station does, so we have 2 reservoirs in the city of Fountain Valley, both 5 million gallons, and that creates our emergency storage, both for firefighting and for if there's any sustained periods of drought or anything like that. We have this storage to pull from. So we cycle the water in the tank every 2 days so that we keep the water fresh, but it's there for storage for the city, and it provides half the storage for the city of Fountain Valley. Or most of our drinking water comes from the groundwater source, approximately 77% of that. It's a big building, but that's its primary function: pump water out, pump water in.
Yep.
We don't think much about our water that we use every day, but after our residents see this, I think they'll be more assured that our water is safe to drink, and very environmentally friendly. Actually, bottled water that they may be purchasing is tested to a different standard.
That's right.
And those plastic water bottles are not very environmentally friendly. And so if you can stick to drinking your tap water.
I just drank some today, right from our City Hall tap water, and it tastes great.
I drink tap water every day. Every day. I have reusable water bottles that I refill
that's what
every day when I go out of the house. And so I try not to buy plastic bottled water.
Same here.
Sometimes it's just too convenient, but and I think we all maybe do that. But if you can just know that our tap water is very safe.
Absolutely.
Well, I want to thank you for being here with us today. Do you have any last things you'd like to leave us with?
I am honored to be part of a community I talked about administration, but just as important as administration is our operations. Our field operators are the ones who are maintaining our sewer system, water system, and streets. And also, we have fleet division that maintains all our vehicles and equipment. So that we could do our jobs out in the field, and all our employees are we work together as a team, so not one arm or one leg is more important. Actually, our fleet division also keeps our police vehicles operating as well. So again, public works is not just in engineering. I'm an engineer by trade, but I am so appreciative of our field operators because they're the one who make an impact in making sure our community is truly a nice place to live, and they keep up our street, they keep up our parks, and it really makes our community a wonderful place to live and do business. So thank you so much for an opportunity to share about what Public Works is all about.
Terrific, and we're so pleased to have you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So on to other Fountain Valley news. The City Council just recently approved a temporary public park open space use permit. That allows temporary free access to operate in park spaces, public parking lots, to support religious institutions, cultural activities, gyms, physical fitness facilities, and other specified businesses on a case-by-case basis due to the state order with restrictions to operate indoors. So you can contact the city. That information will be on your screen for more information on these free permits. The Fountain Valley Chamber of Commerce, the City of Fountain Valley, and Fountain Valley Living magazine have worked together to produce a Shop 92708 coupon book. It's selling now for $20, and the bright spot is if you are a nonprofit organization and you would like to sell these and make some revenue, you certainly can do that. The book sells for $20. For each one that your nonprofit sells, you can keep $4. There is more information and more opportunity to make a little more on each sale, and that information is on the city website and the Chamber of Commerce website. There's over $8,000 worth of savings in services and food in this coupon book. So if you want to purchase just a copy for yourself, you can find out more information on the city website or the Chamber of Commerce website. And keep an eye out, coming soon, for Fountain Valley Restaurant Week. We're not able to do the Taste of Fountain Valley like we did last year, but there will be a restaurant week in October, 18 through 25. There'll be more information coming out on that. It's an opportunity to get out and try your favorite restaurant, or maybe try something new. COVID has created hardships for many families, and to those that have difficulty in putting food on their table, District 1 County Supervisor Doe has partnered with Saddleback Church for 3 drive-through food distributions at Fountain Valley Recreation Center on October 14, November 4, and December 9th. That information is on your screen. There'll be information on that on the city website. District 2 Supervisor Michelle Steele also has dinner meals on a drive-through program at the Founders Village at the Senior Center every Wednesday evening, and that information is on your screen. As the fall flu season approaches, the Center for Disease Control and Prevention recommends that everyone 6 months and older gets a flu vaccine. The Public Health Services Family Health Clinics will be offering free flu shots Monday to Friday, starting September 28th from 8 a.m. to 11:30 a.m., and then they close for lunch, and then 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. An appointment is needed and subject to availability. So again, don't wait. If they run out, then they will close for the day. To make an appointment, please call the number on your screen, 800-914-4887. The flu mist is not available at this location. You can visit vaccinefinder.org for a location that offers the mist. So phone to make an appointment. Please call the appointment line. That number is on your screen, Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. It's also important to remind you now, as they're closing the 2020 census, if you have not filled out a form, it's very important to do that. Every person who lives in Fountain Valley needs to be counted, and that determines the level of state and federal funding for our city services and county services. So it's very important. If you have not done that yet and need help, please call City Hall and we'd be happy to steer you in the right direction. We are on the road to recovery now, but we can't stop now if we want to get back to normal. Remember, wash your hands often, wear a face covering to protect others when you go out, stay 6 feet apart, but stay home if you're sick. Mask up, Fountain Valley. Until next time.